Well, good morning everyone. I'm here at the shop again, working on my truck camper build. It's a sunny Sunday morning. I've spent some time already ripping up a bit of stock for a part of the frame. Presently, I am deciding on a few dimensions, such as the width of my door, and if I'm going to include a bathroom or not. I'd like to at least include space for a porta potty and a closet above, but I'd like to be able to possibly convert it into a shower stall or a wet bath in the future. Now's the time to get the framing in for that quite easily. I'm also trying to consider where I'm going to have my propane and some other access hatches, so when I'm framing my frame, I have spaces roughed in for the doors and windows, which I have not purchased or made yet, so a lot of decisions to be made. And I've changed my mind quite a few times. I've ripped up a bit more stock for the frame pieces. I'm going to shortly be setting up a dado stack for cutting a bunch of half-lap joints. And that is my plan presently. And I'll bring you along for that process. So I'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, here you can see I've started to fill in the end. These pieces aren't attached. I've just mocked them up. They are attached to this piece so far. None of it is put in yet. That will fill in. This will be right behind the cab in the bed of the truck. And then the start of the side wings. So here's my framing so far. Got the door roughed in. Those pieces are just temporary. They actually have to be cut to length. So I'm about to build the side wing assemblies. This will be the overall width, will be 7 feet. So I've got to cut a few pieces to length, cut some half laps, build the assemblies. We can get it all together, and then I'm not sure, but I'll probably have to start moving it outside. Time will tell. Cutting a few dados. Half a lap of join. Okay, I'd marked out all my pieces. I was going to cut them freehand, well, with the miter gauge, but just going to my marks. I'm actually going to use the fence. So I'm going to keep this one piece as marked as my test, so all my marks are going to come off this piece. So I've set the fence to do a first pass. I'm going to cut all the pieces from the same edge. going to adjust the fence, take our second cut. Once again, do all the pieces from the same edge. And so every piece will be exactly the same, all coming off the fence. Now, this is not a full tutorial on how to use a table saw, obviously, but if you're using your fence, you shouldn't be using the miter gauge, and vice versa. If you're using your miter gauge, you should be using your fence for through cuts. This, however, is not a through cut. I'm using this merely as a stop. You can also clamp a block here that's short of the blade, so as the wood moves into the blade, there's a space here. But because I'm not doing a full through cut, and the piece will still be fully supported, this is a safe operation. Safety gear. Okay, here we go. Piece once again. Perhaps I will use the face that I want. So we're going to slide the fence out of the way a little bit. Okay, we're going to line this up. We're going to keep this a little bit inside this line. Fence up to our piece. Do one test cut. This piece is 1.5 inches wide. These are all fairly close, so pretty tight there. So we're going to move the fence over. About a 64th to 1/10. Check the fence, side and the sides. You're gonna have a little bit of wiggle room. But I think it should glue up okay. So I'm gonna continue on and repeat the same process for every stick. And then we're gonna repeat the same process for our second cut. This will ensure that all our pieces are the same. So it doesn't matter where these notches really are located. Every single piece is going to have the exact same spacing. Okay. Outside notches done. I'm going to reset the fence and do the two middle or the inside notches the same way. And I will come back when I'm done. In order to put my side assemblies together, I'm going to use some glue, Tight Bond 2, water resistant, not waterproof, but for where it's sitting inside my camper, I don't want any water in there anyway. So I'm going to use 1¼ pins to glue it, put a couple pins in, and then I'm going to diagonally put in 2 short deck screws. Let me demonstrate. Give them a fair amount of glue. I'm putting it on the face. This part is end grain. You're only going to get maybe 10% of the holding power, maybe. I guess it could help. By the time this whole thing's strapped together, sheathing is on. I'm quite confident it's going to be strong enough. Okay, let's put on my safety glasses. Now, the main problem I'm having is that these pieces are a little bit wowed. So I'm pulling them in with these joists. Okay. It's looking not too bad. Well, it's sitting pretty good there. About as good as I'm going to get it for how straight these pieces are not. So I'm just going to drill a few small pilot holes. Now with my countersink, I've made sure that it's not going to go through into my bench. Oh. Power helps. sitting quite square. Probably about as square as it's going to get. So I'm going to carefully slide it out of my way. So there's some slight variance between these pieces. This one's sitting down a bit, but it's quite flush on the other side. Okay, I'm going to let that one sit there while I do the other one. Glue dry for at least maybe 20-25 minutes. So now I'm just going to repeat the process on the other side. So here we are. I'm just ready to attach these side pieces. Just got them loosely set on there, and I have this little brace on the side just to hold it up. So the back sides will be tied in here, and then the front will have the cross beam going fully across. And yeah, it'll probably need braced up until I get some sheathing on. But so far it's actually gone pretty well. So I'm just gonna lay a bead of glue down. I'm gonna pin it on with a couple 2-inch pins to hold it, and then just screw it on. Tools along for the ride. Et voilà. So these pins aren't adding much strength, but they will help to align this whole mess. They're really not going in very far, truth be told. So these corners here, I have it temporarily, oh, I didn't even screw that one yet. That's probably why. So I've left these corners without screws, because I'm going to, once I put my vertical frame pieces in, for example, then I can just take long 3.5-inch screws and come in through the whole assembly. Instead of having a couple screws going in this way or this way, and then up through here, then a lot of traffic we'd like to avoid. So now I'm just going to drill these out. Rough one. So I'm going to screw it above and below. So same thing. Forget to remove it. At least there's something there. One more. Okay, I've got my side assemblies on. The back is secured. The sides are secured. I'm just going to put on my front brace piece. Still propped up, of course, until we get more framing and the sheathing done. I'm going to use my glue, some air, so far it's turning out pretty well. End grain glue isn't really going to do anything, but what the heck? Throw some in there. Okay. Stay. Let's try that one again. Hold for editing and once again on these corners, I'm going to end up putting long screws through into the upper frame piece. So I just want to put 2 pins, and I'm going to temporarily put 2 short screws in from the underside. Long pins. So far it's sitting reasonably square. Quite like it. So I'm going to use the same spacer that I did these bottom pieces with. Do these pieces. Shorties in here. Reach. Do a little hogging for these bigger ones. So what do I need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I didn't drill it. Well, we'll just blast it. Okay. So it's almost 5 o'clock. Got started around 10. Oh. Not there. I'm probably going to put this piece on. Check that it's sitting reasonably square overnight. And probably call it a day. Looks good. Okay. Sitting pretty good. Okay, we got wings. Not the Paul McCartney kind. Well, everyone, I'm gonna take off from the shop pretty quick. Go home and maybe try to edit this video. My editing skills will be improving with each video. First few were probably pretty painful to watch, and I do apologize, but I am trying here. So far, my little house is coming along. I did mention it in an earlier clip I filmed of my plans for my layout. It might change, of course, but I'm planning on having an L bench with a smaller table. This is really going to be designed for one person with the ability to possibly have a second person, but it's really just for myself. So we have the means of probably at least a toilet with the future ability to put a shower in, as long as a closet storage above it for now. Also in the back, I might have another compartment for some propane and my batteries, and then the bathroom, and then a shortened little L-shaped dinette. This side, of course, will be the kitchen, pretty much just on the wing. I did make these wings high enough to fit in the modern truck, which the sides are 22.5. Older trucks are 19.5, 20. In general, as I'm aware from the stats I can garner online. So this is a little bit higher than a classic camper of this design. So with a 36-inch countertop, I don't leave a ton of storage right here on the side right now, but fit in everything I need, I'll make it work. And so far it's coming along pretty well. Let's hope it stays that way. All right, thanks for watching, you guys. I'll talk to you later.